Hey guys, today if you're on the YouTube channel, I'm in front of the chalkboard in my office. If you're on the podcast, you're gonna still hear everything I'm talking about, but if you're visual, which, hello, most of you are designers, I highly recommend you pop over to my YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/Carina Gardner. First of all, you should be on there anyway because we have this really fun series called Garden Hill. But second of all, we are really trying to give you more in front of the chalkboard or my whiteboard so that I can teach you a little bit better this way. Now, the reason I'm in front of my chalkboard today is because one of the things that I run into over and over again as I talk to thousands of designers every year is how scattered we are as designers. And I think this is an artist thing. Like a lot of artists as well, it's like you want to paint over here this, and then you're feeling this over here. And we kind of go with our feels when we're designing and creating, right? And so one of the things that I really want to talk about is what is costing you to be super scattered. And many of you have not thought of it this way. Sometimes I say this to my own designers because we have our own, curriculum and stuff in Design Suite where we're telling them specific things to do. But, someone will talk to me about something they're doing and I'll be like, why are you doing that? Kind of figure out why they're doing that. And very often it's because they're just excited about all the things and it feels very much like they're getting a lot done. And I will say to them, if you knew that you could make $5,000 a month every month if you would just focus in on one thing, would you do it? And they were like, well, yeah. And I was like, that's what's happening. So that's why I'm in front of my chalkboard today. And I actually have my calculator because you guys, I don't do math in my head, okay? I'm a designer. Reminder, I'm a designer too. So let's talk about this. We're going to use very, very simple math here, and yes, I'll need a calculator for that, to talk about what being scattered really means. So generally what happens, what I see happening, is when we're scattered and we go to a lot of different things, what will happen is we tend to make less money. Everybody thinks that's not the case. So let's pretend for a second that I do fabric, and we're going to say it's like digital fabric, right? We're not talking about contracts, you guys. Okay, so we're gonna say digital fabric, and let's pretend we make $50 a month doing digital fabric, which by the way is really high. Have you guys seen what the digital fabric does? That market is difficult, okay? It's a difficult market. It doesn't mean you can't make a lot of money, but there are very specific strategies you have to take in order to make money in that market, okay? And let's just say also we do printables, okay? And let's pretend we do $50 a month in printables, okay? So we have a store. In order to get that digital fabric, let's pretend we had to do 100 products to get $50. And in printables, we had to do 100 printables to get $50, okay? Let's choose one more category. Let's say stickers. Maybe we do stickers, okay? And in stickers, we make $50 and we had to do 100 products to get that one sticker, okay? So right now we're making $300. We're gonna pretend we make $300 for the month, okay? And we're going to be excited because we're kind of jumping back and forth. Now, one of the things that you don't realize that maybe you realize, but I want you to be really self-aware right now. When we jump around from fabric to printables to stickers, what generally happens is that our brain has to do a shift in order to design the new thing. This happened to me the other day. We're coming out with art prints that were in the Garden Hill house, which by the way, if you've not watched the series, it's on YouTube. Go watch it. We're trying to put episodes out every week so that you can see how we do a short-term rental and we do wallpaper. So we're gonna sell the digital art prints. And I literally had to sit down the other day and go, wait a second, how are we gonna zip and package this up? How many sizes are we gonna give? Are we gonna give vertical and horizontal? How are we going to set this up? And it wasn't frustrating. It was just more of like I had to do this whole mind shift about what I was gonna do. That kind of messes with your brain. Whereas I did SVG files for 7 or 8 years. And you know what happened during that time period? I sat down, I knew what to design really, really quickly. So I guarantee these 100 products you're at 100 products. We're not gonna say you design 300 products in a month, but we're just gonna pretend you're up to 100 products for whatever that time frame was. If you just chose one category, so for example, if we chose printables, okay, and we dedicated that same amount of time to it If instead we did, we're gonna say that we got 300 products in this one category. So let's pretend we didn't even do more. But I guarantee the brain power it took you to do 100 of this, 100 of this, and 100 of this, like 3 different things. I guarantee that instead of just only doing 300, you would have done at least, we'll pretend, 350. I would dare say even 400. Why? Because your brain didn't do a ton of shifting. Instead, it was taking the information that you were already designing, so for the example of printables, and you just made another thing, and you made another thing, and your brain didn't have to shift. You didn't have to do anything weird in it and think, oh, how do I reformat this? Because you got all the formats already set up. If it's a printable, it's 8.5 by 11, it's already set up, and you're just copying and pasting from yourself and then redrawing all the illustrations and images that you have in there. Okay, so there's just not the same kind of brain shift that happens when you have to move from product to product to product, okay? Different product types. It is such a problem with designers. This is why we're scattered and we go through all the things and we don't make as much product as the person who's doing one single item. That's why so few people could beat me in making product, because I was only in one category, okay? So we're gonna pretend we did 50 more products, okay? By simply having more products, we will make more money. Okay, all this money, this $50 here, $50 here, $50 here. What happens when we have more product in a single category? We're seeing this right now. The data that we share in Design Suite is what's happening in my current shops, okay? And we're seeing this right now with all of our numbers. So we will see that instead of only doing $50 in this category, we've got so many products in this category, you would think, oh, well, maybe you're only doing $150. That's not true. It wouldn't be these different sets. Instead, what it ends up happening is it usually doubles, if not triples, when you're in a single category. Why is that? Because for most online shops or platforms, and the more products you have in something, the algorithm works in your favor. So your stuff is getting seen more. You're also more credible as a designer, right? Like, here's the thing. Let's say you're shopping for, you're looking for a sticker to put on your kid's water bottle, okay? And you go online and you start looking. Do you buy from the shop that has only 5 things in it? You're like, oh, I look in the shop, it has 5 things in it. Yeah, it has a water bottle sticker I like. Do you buy from that shop? Or while you're looking around, you find the shop that has 300 items in it. Which of those shops do you buy from? I always buy from the $300 one or the 300 product one. Why? Because I'm not worried that it's like a hoax or spam or something weird, right? Something with 5 up makes me go, wait, like I think they're still kind of new. I still don't know if they know what they're doing. Whereas the person with 300 items, I'm kind of like, oh, this is a sizable inventory. They're probably doing okay. They've probably shipped a few different orders. That's the one I'm going to buy from. Right? We buy from people that make us feel safe. That's why it's so easy to purchase from Amazon or even from Etsy, someone that's going to back us up, right? Walmart, even Walmart.com. We feel safe about it. It's ironic because most of them are using small, tiny vendors, but we feel safer about it. And so because we feel safer about it, we are willing to purchase from them. Same with number of product. If you're going to go to a random online shop, you're going to feel better about it if they have more product, okay? Therefore, sales increase. This is what's happening. Your sales increase, all right? And then also the algorithm increases for you as well. So instead of doing less in sales, you usually will do more if you're in a single category. And if you are scattered, we're talking, I think, that you are probably making 50% of what you could. If I'm being totally honest, you're probably making only 25% of what you could. Because this compounds over time. So what you've done in a single month matters even more when you've done it for an entire year, matters even more when you've done it for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or if you're like me, 15 years. So the more that you are really dedicated to a single category, perhaps not forever, because we've talked about reinventioning and pivoting. These are things you have to do as a designer. But it's that scattered feeling that it's costing you probably not just hundreds of dollars, we're talking thousands of dollars. So, and most designers will not rein it in. because they're too scared of what they're missing out there, and because they don't know exactly what category they ought to go in. I will say that is one of the things we've done very, very well at in our Design Suite program. Is one of the things we do is a dream planning call. And we like to isolate a single category that we know is doing relatively well and talk to them about the coursework they would take to match that up. And then we also talk about the shops we want them to be in, usually with the first month and then 6 months and so forth. And that has helped because people then don't feel like they're just guessing, which is what we see most people doing. They're just guessing, which is all you can do when you don't have the inside scoop or you don't have mentorship or someone to help you. So just be aware of that. I am telling you, it is costing you more than you have any idea of by being scattered and being all over the place and not being organized. And this I'm just talking about in sales, but it's this way also for organizing your day, planning out your week, and figuring out where you are going to do the things that you're going to do in your design business. It is costing you so much money. And I think if you went the reverse, instead of being like, I hope I can make money, but instead, this is costing me $5,000 this month, this is costing me $10,000 this month, you would change the way you behaved. I promise you, if someone was going to hand you a check for $5,000 at the end of this month, and it's because you knew for a fact that if you just did the things that you were supposed to do for the 40 hours a week, which we say this in our program all the time, and people will tell you in our program, Wendy just got on to Marco Polo, that's one of the apps that we use, and just got on and said, I did this in sales, I went over to my other site and I found this in sales, and then I did this in sales. She's like, literally, just do what Carina is telling you to do, and you will make money. That is true. And a lot of it has to do with being scattered. Hopefully this helped. I hope I am seeing you on the YouTube channel and that this kind of makes sense. It is very, in theory, because I can't show you what happens. I mean, we talk about it in Design Suite, what happens when we see this happening, but I am here to tell you that this is true, and I would say I'm even being very, very optimistic about what you can make when you're scattered. Because here's the thing about scattered people, they don't last that long. That's the other thing that happens. They don't last very long because they never ever see the fruits of their labor because they're too scattered, and the money just never shows up. And so they give up well before they ever should. All right. YouTube.com/Carina Gardner if you want to watch more fun videos with me and you want to hang out with me on my chalkboard. I so appreciate you being here and learning how to design. It's so powerful, and learning how to sell and be smart about your design work. It is so important. And if you haven't come to a design boot camp yet and you like what I do for free, you should check it out. It's at carinagardnercourses.com/design bootcamp. It's our really inexpensive short course. It only lasts 10 days to watch. You should go check it out. It will help you kind of get your head around what it is really to own a design business.
Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.